What's up everybody? Today we are going to talk about Ethereum, and this is a topic that I rarely discuss, but in this video we are going to figure out if this is the bottom for Ethereum, and if this is not already the bottom for Ethereum, how much lower can it go? And we're going to talk about how this applies to altcoins in general, and lastly we're going to talk about, is this a good time to be buying altcoins right now, or do I think that they still have a lot more downside to go? Now, to kick things off with Ethereum, you can see that on my chart here I have a couple of levels at 1050 and about 925. Now, if you guys were in the private Discord group, this is the levels that I said that I would be buying Ethereum at, which is 1050, 925. And if you were in the private Discord group and you caught that, then you would be up a very beautiful 30% in 3 days at the moment. So if you want to get access to all of my trades as well as my team's trades and a trading course that is going to be released very shortly, you're going to want to check out the private Discord group. Link is in the description box below. But currently we have to figure out if this is the bottom. Now, I cannot say that this is like period, like the macro bottom. But what I can tell you is I'm going to give you a couple of data points that prove that price at the moment is in like just a really good spot at the moment. Now, the reason like I came up with 950, and by the way, there's still another limit if you guys saw on the Discord that I have at 780, that is at this line right here. So if price does get to $780, that is a price that I will be looking to buy as well. So for those of you who are not in the Discord group, this is the prices that I'll be looking at. But is that the macro bottom? I'll get into why I think that might not be the macro bottom. And to do that, we're going to have to start off on the weekly chart. Now we're going to talk about like, is this the macro bottom? And the answer to that is going to be yes and sort of no. Because if you guys watched the Bitcoin video that I posted yesterday, I gave a few data points as to how Bitcoin has not found its macro bottom yet. And I expect that to come at about 9K or 10K. So if you guys want to figure out exactly the reasons why I think that, you know, the bottom might climb at 10K or 9K, you want to watch the video from yesterday. I promise it's not a waste of your time. Other than that, you know, when we take a look at the daily chart and we bring on the mean reversion channels, you can see that throughout the history of Ethereum, every time that we have hit, you know, the bottom band of the mean reversion chart on the daily chart, it has always signified some kind of a very, very historical bottom. Now, those are two instances right there. That's another one. That's another one. And almost every time you tend to rebound back to the top band. So this indicator right here, the reason I use it so much is because it's a really good indicator of macro market bottoms or bear market bottoms. So if we just follow this chart right here on the daily chart, it would mean that the quote-unquote bear market bottom is already in for Ethereum. Now, even though that might not be the case for this time because of the Fed's aggressive interest rate hikes have been going up at a scale that we have not seen in about 30 to 50 years. And just the entire market situation at the moment, everyone's talking about some kind of a recession. And maybe, just maybe, because of that, we might not get that instant rebound back to the top band for Ethereum. But is that any reason for you guys to be bearish? No, because you have to think about it this way. Where have the best buying opportunities in the markets, period, in every market? Where has those opportunities come from? Generally, they have come from times of, you know, a lot of fear, all-time high fear levels. And this is where we're currently at the moment. So in my opinion, you are going to have much higher odds of being successful if you are buying at these levels instead of trying to short this, because historically speaking, to those of you who weren't around for the last bear market, people got really bearish and like really, they lost a lot of it. Like people just lost interest at these low prices at them, like back then. And that is a trend that I've been seeing going on with my YouTube channel as well, where people are just not very interested, you know, in learning about like improving themselves, right? And I would argue like this is one of the best times for you to be improving yourself, because there's no distraction. You know, in a bull market, everything's going up. You're trying to constantly chase the next big thing and you don't really have much time to improve yourself. But times like these, you know, if you improve yourself here when everyone's losing interest, imagine how far ahead you'll be compared to every other person when the next bull cycle starts. And it will start, mark my words. If not the end of this year or next year, it is going to restart, and you are going to want to be prepared for that. Like over the last couple of months, I have been posting a lot of educational based videos. So you're going to want to check those out. There is a playlist in the description box below. That playlist is called AOC's Most Valuable Videos. And those really teach you the art of trading. So go check those out. And of course, if you want to fast track that process, I'm just going to show this a little bit, but private Discord group is a good place for you to just fast track your progress as well. But that is Ethereum. Like odds are just based on every single indicator. This is really good prices for buying. Now, if we take a look at the CME futures gap, then this gives us a very clear picture of what to expect as well, because there is a CME futures gap over here at 1480 to 1650, which means that in the event that we do get a relief rally, which I think we will get a relief rally, this is going to be the area where you're going to want to, start looking for shorts. And for those of you who bought here, you're going to want to take some profit over here, because more likely than not, it is probably going to get rejected. Even if not by a lot, it's going to be by a little bit. So this is sort of the target that I'm looking for. And for those of you who are wondering, like, why am I talking about the CME futures gap? Does that have any relation with Ethereum? Yes. Just like how the Bitcoin CME futures gap can be used for Bitcoin to predict where it will get rejected and where it will find support, same thing works for Ethereum as well. So that is the target for a relief rally between 1480 and about 1700. And if we move on over to Ethereum versus Bitcoin, you can see that the bullish case stands strong for here as well, at least for a relief rally. Because at the moment, if you just take a look at this block here, this is what's called as a daily bullish order block. Currently, prices exactly came into that order block, only that, but in the mean reversion channel, you are very, just at you've gone beyond the bottom band essentially. And let's just say that these are not times to be panicking right now. And then we take a look at total 2, because Ethereum is the biggest single largest constituent of total 2. And this is the reason why I believe that maybe, just maybe, the macro bottom might not be in yet. Because if you take a look at total 2, currently we are sitting, and again, this is another just really bullish case for Ethereum. If you take a look at this line that I drew right here, this is the previous sort of bull market, altcoin bull market top at about 2018, the beginning of 2018. Currently, we have went all the way back to that level. So this is what's called as a support level, right? It's a key support level. So this is just another confluence factor for the fact that, hey, relief rally is probably coming, and this is going to be a really good time to buy, even if it's not 4D macro, even if you're not buying for the next 2 to 5 years, at least buy for the next month. You know what I mean? But in terms of a macro, like just a macro bottom, do I think that this line right here at 260 billion of market cap for altcoins could be possible? That would put ETH at about, give or take, at about $500. And do I think that's likely? Well, if Bitcoin, if everything adds up and Bitcoin goes to 9K to 10K, Ethereum goes, total 2 goes to 260 billion. Ethereum's going to be sitting at about, give or take, about $500. Then yeah, I do think that's possible, because that's a very key level right there. And currently, just based on looking at price action, we have determined that the Bitcoin low is probably going to come at about 10K to 9K. We have also determined that Ethereum might not have found its macro bottom yet. And if we take a look at Ethereum on the weekly chart, you can see that there is a previous swing low, a couple of swing lows actually, at $550 and $525. So those are levels that are just think of them as liquidity. You just so happen to have a fair value gap. Again, wow, I just noticed this. Price just filled in this fair value gap perfectly. It just touched that fair value gap perfectly and it bounced. Again, this is why you learn the institutional way of trading. And if you want to learn more of that, private Discord group is going to be the place to be. But otherwise, I have a lot of free videos about this as well. So price came into the fair value gap, immediately bounces. So this stuff is powerful. But either way, take a look at both of these swing lows right here. That is liquidity. And when there is liquidity, you can expect the market to draw towards there. But is it going to draw towards that in this singular move? I don't think so, because currently we have already spent about 77 days, which is about 11 weeks, just on the weekly chart, right? We have just been going down. Fear is at all-time high levels right now. I don't think that they have a lot to gain by pushing price all the way to 500, in this singular move. But if they do, this is going to be the capitulation of capitulations. So you better set some limit orders at Bitcoin for 10K and 9K, Ethereum at about $600 to $500, and you're going to make generational wealth, my friend. You don't need to be in a private group to understand this. And lastly, let's talk about, is this a good time to buy altcoins? The short answer is going to be no, because the thing you need to understand about altcoins is that until Bitcoin does some kind of a leading move, altcoins are going to perform like absolute crap. Currently, you're seeing some kind of a bounce for altcoins because Bitcoin dominance has been going down. But at the moment, Bitcoin is still king. And you also have to understand that the markets are currently in a very defensive sort of stance where risk on assets such as crypto, such as equities, are not doing very well because they are just risky investments. And in the world of crypto, crypto is already risky enough by itself. But then now you dive into other fields like small cap altcoins and mid cap altcoins, and those are on the risk scale that is ridiculously high. You stand such a big chance of just losing all of your money. It's ridiculous. So now is not the time to be investing into, like, quote unquote investing. Like, you can trade mid cap, low cap altcoins, but do not invest in them over the next, I don't know, expecting them to do like 100x in the next 2 years. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. I'm just saying that they could go way lower than current prices before they actually pull the move that you're expecting them to. Now, are they still good investments over a 5-year, 10-year time frame? Yes, you're still going to get the 100x returns, but I'm just saying that you have to be able to stomach another 80% drop potentially on those altcoins before they start making the gains. Like, you just expect yourself, like, the moment you put money into mid cap and small cap altcoins over the next year, like 12 months, that money is gone. Right? Just expect this to be gone. Right? Because that's the reality of the markets at the moment. It's very defensive. Risk on assets are not going to perform very well. And because of that, my recommendation, sincere recommendation for all of you, no matter what kind of a financial state you are in, if you are looking to invest, right? Keyword, invest, not trade. If you're looking into investing into coins that will perform well for the future, currently, mid caps and small caps are not going to be the place to be. What you want to focus on is to invest in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other top 10 altcoins, such as Polkadot, Solana, right? Just to name a couple. Solana has a lot of issues, fundamental issues at the moment, but you cannot deny that it is going to be a big player in the future if it fixes these fundamental issues. Now, I'm not going to dive into fundamental analysis here, but you get me idea. I will make another video when it is time to get into altcoins, because there are a couple of key indicators that I tend to look for before I decide to, throw money into mid cap and small cap altcoins. And usually you are tend to be able to time that moment pretty well. Like that moment when the market's just starting to explode, go into those small cap altcoins and you're going to end up with like 100, 200x returns. There is a method to be able to time that. I will make another video when the time comes. But if you want to show your support for this video, if you're still here at this point so far, I want you to comment down in the comment section, alt, and drop a like on this video. And check out this indicator that I talk about that is able to predict Bitcoin tops and bottoms to a very scary degree.